We are super excited today to be flying business class again on Ethiopian Airlines.
If you're new to this channel, we're Kyle and Rebecca, and if you like travel, you should definitely subscribe. We're leaving Africa right now. Just finished up some awesome adventures. And if you like plane reviews, we've also done a number of business class flights. And if you're just into YouTube, subscribe before I run out of time. See you on the plane. While I'm getting my stuff situated, let me tell you a little bit about what I know about the plane, which I have to say is not much. I was going to pretend to force that in there. It was not going to fit well. Oh, too big on the headphones. We'll just leave those on top. Oh, I got one more spot. Boom. So the business class product on Ethiopian Airlines is called Cloud9, and they are running with that everywhere. That was the name of the business class lounge. They have it on all the entries for business class. That's the name of the product we're sitting in now. And we are flying in a 787-900, and it's one of the newer versions. So this is a 121, and it feels really new. Ethiopian Airlines business class doesn't always get the best track record online. I think we're easily impressed by any business class because we don't fly that often, but I think this is really nice. It feels very private in here in the seats with this like extra overhang, tons of really thoughtful storage, very spacious, nice divider between you and the person next to you if you need that, and then they also have singles on the windows. We flew Ethiopian Airlines on a 787-8 coming here, and we were in economy, so I'm not going to show you anything, but the business class was not nearly as nice as this looks here. Really excited about this flight and to show you a little bit more.
Thank you. Ooh, that is piping hot. Nice refreshing towel to start off the flight.
በተለመደው መንገድ መተንፈስ የአየር መሳሪያ ጭንብል ማስቀመጫ ተነክቶ ጭንብሉ ይንጠለጠላል። ከዚያም ከፊት
There's so much space already. I just really like the layout of this with all the pockets and everything. Just trying to get, I keep finding more cubbies. Everywhere I look, there's a cubby. We'll do the full tour and overview right now. We're just getting everything situated, trying to find a spot for everything we need on the flight. Put on my compression socks, essential on a 17.5-hour flight.
All right, we've taken off, settled in a little bit. Excited to tell you what I have learned about the seat. I'll go top down, and I think I'll just record with this at the same time. Looking at the TV, it's very large. It's pretty responsive as well. They have a screen, they have a remote tucked away too. I wouldn't say that the movie choices are particularly extensive, but I'm sure I'll find enough to entertain me for a little while here. The tray table in front, I won't pull that out, that's where I got my camera sitting, but it does double fold out, slides in and out under the TV. Very smooth, easy to open up, and it also stows away when you need to step away to use the restroom or something if you still have that out while you're eating. Going around the trays here, I'll acknowledge that I did... Let me come back to you after this announcement. Okay, I'm back. One thing I'm noticing immediately about the seat is that about a year ago we flew with Etihad business class, and I think this is the exact same setup and hard product as they would say. The only difference is just kind of like the aesthetic that Etihad had on it and then the closing door. They have this really nice storage here. Inside they have the remote, they have a full power charger as well as 2 USB ports, and that's where you plug in your headphones. There's a ton of storage in here. And then they have another one here, a little bit shallower, but again, another nice place to store things. And then they have a nice little magazine rack. That's where we have the menu too, which they brought by earlier. Last thing here to point out is this nice little reading light. I don't know if that's giving you a glare or not, so I'm going to put it away. Now, down from here, they do have all of the seat controls on a nice little screen. Again, all of this feels very brand new. You can adjust everything from the headrest, shoulders, down to kind of that lumbar support and the legs. And all of that folds into what is a full-size bed here. I'll test that out later in sleep and let you know how that goes. And then there are two additional pockets, one here on the left, that's where they had the headphones that this came with. I just always use my own Bose headphones, so I'm not really sure too much about these, but they have them if you don't have yours. And then there's also storage in the armrest, and that's pretty deep. I have my headphones in there, and there's a number of things that can be stored in there. Now that armrest does go up and down. I'm never quite sure what exactly you're supposed to do with that. I think, again, might just make it easier to move when you're eating if necessary, but I'll probably just keep it up. It gives me a little bit more faux privacy here. And then down in the footwell, they do have a leg rest, enough space underneath that I can fit what is a pretty large backpack that I have with me. And again, we'll test the length of that out later. Also a coat rack. I don't know if anybody ever really uses that, but I guess that's nice to have. And then we do have this divider. Rebecca and I will probably keep this open most of the flight, but it doesn't actually go all the way out, I don't think. Maybe I just don't know how to use it. She's already fallen asleep, so I'm not going to do that too many times. Might just go part way, which might be all that's needed. And that's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, so that's the seat. I am really enjoying this, and we have a long night ahead, so I think that all of this is going to get well appreciated. Okay, see you in a few at dinner.
That appetizer was delicious. The local cheese was so good. And now they brought out my main dish. I ordered the pan-seared chicken breast. That's actually really good. Very happy with my choice. I also don't know if I mentioned, but they have like real silverware, real blades, and real glasses. This is great. I'm going to enjoy this dinner and I'll report back for dessert.
I'm guessing you clicked on this flight because you know we're flying Addis Ababa over to Washington, D.C. But one thing to note about this flight is it runs 17 and a half hours, and that's because it has a fuel stop in Rome. I'm not really sure why it can't just go the straight distance, and that's not needed. Nobody gets off, nobody gets on. It's really just a true fuel stop, so I'm sure some aviation enthusiasts can fill me in on the purpose of that, but either way, it makes for a long flight and a long time on this plane, so not that it was in question, but definitely worth the business class upgrade.
All right, it's amenity kit time. They handed these out at the very beginning of the flight, and it's a partnership with Lancel Paris. I'm never going to pretend to know any of those brand names. It's a cute little red pouch. Just a little zippered leather. All right, digging in. This looks like it's going to be pretty basic. Got the standard eye mask. Very simple, but effective, I'm sure. We have the classic no-slip socks in the Ethiopian red. Looks like we have a comb, a little wooden comb here. Earplugs, essential. There was a guy snoring next to me earlier. Thankfully, I had my noise-canceling headphones. Dental kit. Then it looks like we have a little pen and a chapstick. I think that's everything in here. So pretty basic, but you know, it has some of the essentials that you need if you forgot any amenities. Mainly the toothbrush is nice. And the chapstick, actually good texture, and it tastes or smells good, so that's nice too. All right, that's it.
Part 2 is up in the air. We are on our way to Washington, D.C. Pretty much first thing we got up is that they are serving breakfast. They had an Ethiopian option, an omelet, and a pancake. So I went with the pancakes. The breads they're serving are very good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And they just brought the pancakes. These things look amazing. And then they got fruit, yogurt, some jams, butters, even a little breakfast bar. There's like 12 utensils here. I don't think I've been to a restaurant that had this much silverware. Alright, so the pancakes are in like a chocolate sauce. It's like 4 pancakes here too. It's a lot of food. Literally pancakes and chocolate. What could go wrong? on that note, gonna go ahead and give this bed a real try for the purposes of the review, of course, and I'll report back in the morning. Well, that was actually a pretty good sleep. That was one of the longer times that I slept on a plane. The bed was super comfortable. I just took the blanket, which was like really thick and padded, and laid that across the whole thing, and plenty of room for the feet. I'm about 5'11". There's probably at least 6'10" under there, and it narrows down like most do, but I was comfortable. The pillow was very comfortable too. Temperature in the plane was great. I didn't even need the blanket. As far as plane sleep goes, that was great. Now I can tell they're getting the cabin prepared for our last meal, which is lunch.
After some more sleep, I've been sleeping a lot on this flight, thankfully. We have lunch being served. So there's quite a few starters, salads. We have an Ethiopian chickpeas tofu salad, which I originally declined, but she convinced me into it. And then we have a couple options for our main dishes. So I'm trying to decide between the lasagna or the coconut vegetable curry masala. And then, of course, we have bread and dessert, and they offer coffee and tea, all the beverages. They keep trying to offer there's wines and beers and cocktails and flavored juices. So I just got some sparkling water, which is the most basic of those, but that's all right. I'll take it and I'll let you know how it is afterwards. Well, that was a great meal. I ended up getting the lasagna, and while it was a little drier than I was expecting, it was still actually really good. And I went with like a rosemary and chocolate tart dessert. I have really enjoyed the meal service on this flight, from the presentation to the food and especially to the staff. So all in all, this was great service.
Quick comment about the staff. We have a new crew here on the way to Washington, D.C., but both groups have been so sweet, kind, helpful, very attentive. It's been a really awesome group, and it just helps to elevate the service, I think. And it's been the dining, the in-between, checking up on us very regularly. The Ethiopian Airlines crew has been fantastic.
That is going to wrap up 17 and a half hours of flying on business class in Ethiopian Airlines.
What a pleasant experience. I enjoyed the food, the seat was fantastic, the staff was amazing. Overall, I would highly recommend Ethiopian Airlines.
Definitely. We really enjoyed the flight. I got a lot of rest, and now I'm ready to finish the rest of our journey home.
If you're interested, be sure to check out some of our other flight review videos or the other travels that we've had in the past or coming up. Be sure to subscribe. See you on the next adventure.